what's the word I'm looking for? Abridged. Hey, it's Sue in the restricted section. Today I want to do a quick December wrap-up and then talk about some of my goals for 2017. So I actually ended up reading more in December than I was expecting to because I really took it pretty easy this month. I finished 4 books and I'm almost finished with a 5th, and I'm certain I'll be finished with it before the end of the month. But the first one I finished was Nevada by Imogen Benny. I actually already did a review of this, which I'll link below if you're interested in checking that out. This is about a transgender woman living in New York City, and she discovers that her long-term girlfriend has lied to her about something, and their relationship falls apart, and it kind of prompts her to rethink her life and go on this road trip to discover herself. I think I gave this like three stars, maybe like I think I put like 3.25 on Goodreads because I was really torn about how I felt about it, because I do think this is a really great and really honest account of, you know, what it might be like to be a transgender woman. And so if you're looking for that, I would most definitely recommend this book. But the writing was not my cup of tea. It was very like conversational, stream of consciousness kind of, but it was written in the third person, so it was just, I don't know, it just didn't really work for me that way. If it had been written in the first person, like it was the main character's voice, then it would have been less annoying, but I don't know. And the book itself, like, it's kind of one of those books where it doesn't really have that much of a plot, and there's not really a definitive conclusion either, so if that's something that bothers you, it really doesn't bother me. I kind of liked the plot of the book and everything. It was just really the writing that kind of bothered me, but I would say though that it's worth your time because it's a short, quick read, so even if you don't like it, I think that it's worth reading if you're wanting that like insight and a little bit more understanding in what it would be like to be a transgender woman. Then the next book that I finished is Dolly City by Orly Castel-Bloom, and this was translated from Hebrew by Dahlia Bilu. And this book was really weird. It's set in like a futuristic city that's I think it's supposed to be kind of similar to Tel Aviv, and it's located in Israel. And it follows this woman, Dr. Dolly, who's probably a doctor. Like, she definitely thinks she's a doctor. She has like this lab where she does experiments on animals, and then she finds this newborn baby and ends up taking it home and like becoming its mother. This is gonna sound awful, but I found it kind of funny. Like, I think it is supposed to be like a dark comedy a little bit, but she does like really fucked up stuff. I think it's kind of satirizing like the overprotective Jewish mother. I don't really know much about that stereotype, so correct me if I'm wrong, but she gets like concerned that, you know, is the baby's heart working properly? I better do surgery and look at its heart and make sure its heart's okay. So she does like performs all these like unnecessary surgeries on this baby, and like at one point she gets paranoid that what if its kidneys, what if it doesn't have 2 kidneys, what if it only has 1, and then she opens it up and looks inside and she only counts 1, so then she goes and like gets a kidney from like kills all these other babies trying to get another kidney for her baby, and puts another kidney in her baby, and then she thinks, what if I counted wrong and there really was 2 all along, and so then she opens them up back again and there's 3 kidneys in there, and it's just like this bizarre, weird, just fucked up stuff. And like there was more even more weird shit than that. It's just a book. It's a short, again, it's like a really short, quick read. And so it doesn't go into like a lot of detail and all of this weird, fucked up shit. So it didn't really bother me. I think maybe if you had a child, it might bother you. I don't have children, so reading about her like doing all these surgeries on a baby wasn't really that bad for me. But yeah, it was just like bizarre, and I actually really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars because I mean I just thought it was so weird, and I liked it. And then this was my struggle book for all of December. It took me like almost all month to read this book but it is Sex versus Survival, The Life and Ideas of Sabina Spielrein by John Lawner. And this is a biography about Sabina Spielrein, who was most well known for having an affair with Carl Jung and being a patient of Sigmund Freud. But this book, it talks about that, but it also talks about her contributions to psychology because she was a psychologist. There's a lot of ideas that are attributed to other people that this author says actually she had these ideas first, but she was always overlooked for whatever reason. Not just because she was a woman, because some of these ideas were things that other women are credited to other women, but I think because one, she was Jewish, and two, she kind of refused to take sides, because I think at this time things were like very much divided in psychology, and you were either with Freud or you were with Jung, or there was no in between, and she kind of refused to take a side in those matters. So I really liked the very last part of the book where it really does get more into her work and also talks about her death, which she actually died in the Holocaust. She was murdered by the Nazis, her and her two daughters were. I feel like if I was more, because I know very little about psychology or about psychoanalysis. I had one psychology class that I had to take in college, and that's all. I think maybe if I had known more or had just been a little bit more interested in the field of psychology in general, that I might have enjoyed it more, but I found it to be kind of boring for the most part, and I kind of wish that it had talked more about her actual work, because that was kind of what he says he sets out to do in this book. But I feel like he still talked a lot about her relationship with Jung and Freud, which was a huge part of her life, but still it was like, okay, can we hear about her now? Thanks. I gave it 3 stars. Then I finally finished this, Alfred Hitchcock Presents Stories Not for the Nervous. I've been working on this since like June or something. It's a collection of short horror stories, and I've just kind of been, picking it up whenever I felt like it. But I finally decided, hey, I want to finish this before the end of the year, so I did. And I really enjoyed it. Not all the stories are great, like a lot of them are not that good, honestly. But they're just kind of like, I love these like cheesy old horror stories. So I gave it 4 stars. It's mostly short stories, but it had 3 novelettes and 1 novel. And the novel is Sorry Wrong Number by Lucille Fletcher and Alan Ullman. And I actually really enjoyed that. You know what's gonna happen from the beginning, but it's the anticipation that really, like, I was like, really, it was a page turner for me. None of the novelettes were really all that great, I didn't think, but some of the short stories I really liked. Some of my favorites were Levitation by Joseph Payne Brennan. This one was like really silly. It was a clever idea, but it was like ridiculous. But I really enjoyed it. One by Miriam Allen DeFord, which actually I just picked up a short story collection by her called Xenogenesis. It's a sci-fi short story collection. And I didn't know that she was in this book, and I just went to, read the next story, and I was like, holy shit, I know that name. But she has a story in here called Walking Alone, which is not a sci-fi story, but I really enjoyed that one, so I'm glad I liked it, because hopefully that means I'll like that short story collection. But those were a couple that kind of stood out to me, and I don't think I've ever showed what the book looks like without this ratty old dust jacket on it, but the book itself is actually quite nice. It's red, and it's got the AH Alfred Hitchcock emblem in purple. So the book itself is actually in really quite good condition, but the dust jacket's pretty beat up. And then I'm almost finished with Landline by Rainbow Rowell. I've got like 50 or 60 pages left, and it's a really quick read. Like the font's pretty big. Her other 2 books I've read by her have been young adult books, but this one is an adult one. And it's pretty good. It's been a quick kind of fun read, which is what I was wanting here at the end of the month. I was like, nah, I just feel like something light and easy. I mean, it is about like a failing marriage, so maybe it's not so light, but I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I don't think I'm liking it as much as I liked her other 2 books, which I think has kind of been the consensus with this one, so, but it's okay. Okay, and then my, for 2017, I'll talk about my channel goals first. One thing that I really want to do with my videos and Megan and I's joint videos as well is to kind of try to improve the quality, like visually and content-wise. I think our videos together are pretty good content-wise because we just kind of play off each other, but for my personal videos, I don't really plan anything. I'm kind of incapable of planning anything in my life, it seems. I just go with the flow, but I don't want to like write a script or anything because I feel like that's a little bit disingenuous, but I do want to at least, you know, think about what I'm going to talk about, especially when I'm doing book reviews, and think about, you know, here are the points I want to talk about, because sometimes I feel like I sound like an idiot because I just turn on the camera and start talking, and then I'm like, I didn't, you know, forgot to say this, I forgot to say that, you know. So I'm going to try and plan out my videos a little bit better. Also, I want to plan out when I film them so that maybe I'll actually have good lighting. Like right now the sun's out, so it probably looks okay, but a lot of times I end up filming at night because I don't, you know, plan when to film my videos well, and then the lighting sucks and it doesn't look very good. So I want to try and do that, and then I also want to try and make like maybe like an end screen for our videos so we don't have to constantly like repeat ourselves with, you can find our links down below, blah blah blah, and just kind of, yeah, try to just improve the overall quality of our videos. I also am working on kind of setting up a better area where I can film. Now I'm filming in front of my Christmas tree, but I'm probably going to take that down here in a day or two. So I'm setting up an area in my office where hopefully the lighting will be good and everything, because I kind of struggle with that in my house. Like sitting in front of my bookshelf doesn't really work that well because I have a window right beside my face and then no window in front of my face when I do that, so it's not the best. But so video quality, and then like for my reading goals, my reading goals are pretty similar to Megan's, I think. I'm probably gonna do the Goodreads challenge, but I'm just gonna keep it at 50 books, which was actually I originally started out my challenge this year, my goal was 40 books, but I surpassed that pretty easily, so I upped it to 50, and right now I'm at 66 and will probably reach 67 before the end of the year, so that's good. But I don't want to pressure myself with the number of books, because I do find that I've been more reluctant to pick up larger books this year since I started BookTube, because I think I've been more worried about the quantity of books that I read, because I think, you know, especially doing the monthly wrap-ups, I'm like, oh, I have to read at least 4 books a month or otherwise that's pathetic, you know. But it's like, you know, if I read a big book, that's gonna take a while, and I got other things to do too. I don't spend 24/7 reading. I'm also doing the Book Riot Read Harder challenge again. I did complete the 2016 challenge, which was a lot of fun, and I think it really did push me out of my reading box. I didn't enjoy the books I read for every challenge, but I definitely read some books that I wouldn't normally have read that I really liked. So I'm excited to do that one again. I'll put the link below where you can find the 2017 challenge if you're interested in that. And then the other thing that I'm going to try to do, try is key here, because I've got the Read Harder challenge is 24 books in a year, so that's, you know, 2 books a month. And then I also am in a book club, so that's 3 books a month. I don't want it to seem like all my reading is like assigned reading in a way, and I don't have my own choices there, but I do want to try to read something from my TBR jar every month. I've had this for like 2 years or something, but I don't really use it that much. This is just all my unread books, which is a lot, as you can see. So I usually just use it when I really am like, I don't know what I want to read right now, so let me just draw a random one. But I find I don't really end up using it, and I just end up like buying more books instead of reading what's on my shelf. So I'm going to try to draw a book out of here every month and read it. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. That being said, I think I'll just go ahead and draw my book for January right now, since it's next month. And hopefully I have all my unread books in here, so there's a chance I missed some. We'll see. Let me draw one out. Okay. So I drew the The Man in the Iron Mask. Oh shit, a long one. Alright, so here it is, The Man in the Iron Mask. Yeah, I've always wanted to read more Alexandre Dumas because The Count of Monte Cristo is one of my favorite books. So, and this has been on my shelf for a while. That's it for me today. Let me know, yeah, what you thought of the books I read this month. What are your plans for next year? I hope y'all have a great new year. There'll be links below where you can find myself and Megan other places on the internet. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.